everyone. For this video, I'm going to go over the internship guidelines and Moodle page. So I'm going to go over to the Moodle page that has been organized for you for your summer internship. So as you get here, you will see the 10 essential services here, public health services. So you will want to make sure that you are thinking about those and how your internship and experience fits into those. It certainly will not fit into all 10, but you will need to apply this in your final capstone summary and presentation. So the more you kind of think about it and apply it during your internship and your assignments associated with it, the better off you'll be in your capstone. So as you scroll down, you will come across the syllabus, the assignment and assessment list, and then some other important forms, but I've also included those below. Please read through this syllabus. I'm pulling out, I'm gonna go over the assignments in general, but please read through that. Also read over the honor code, the Hornet student handbook, as well as the Master Public Health student handbook as it relates to the practicum. I do want to point out that you really need to follow this Lynchburg Honor Code, particularly when it comes to reporting your hours. So a student last year did not report their hours ethically and honorably. They had a 9-credit internship and they ended up failing the whole internship. They were lucky not to have failed out of the entire MPH program. It was in discussion and it was a tough decision. So please do not put yourself in that position. If for some reason you're not able to get your full hours, something happens with the with the site, the supervisor, moving to remote with all of the coronavirus things going on, let me know and be transparent about that. We'll find a way for you to get your hours. Okay, so don't worry about that. This page is for all internship courses, whether you're doing 3 credits to 9 credits. So remember, for each 3 credits, you have 120 contact hours that are required. So you will be reporting those. So these are just some forms that you will need to, that are just easily accessible for you, but I will also go through your assignments here shortly. The big one is contract 1, which you have or should have near completed and submitted. This has to be completed and signed by you, the site supervisor, and the MPH coordinator, and we submit that to the internship office for processing. So once that is complete, then you can really start rolling in your internship and complete these other assignments and requirements. This is the second contract I'm going to go over for you here shortly, but you can access it here. You can access both self-assessments as well. And then this link here is to the core competencies and essential health services. So your objectives, you have to directly link 4 of your objectives to the public health core competencies, which you can get to through this link. So this just goes into the detail, but you'll click on these actual core competencies and you'll come up with these and they will help you in determining your objectives. So again, you're not going to be able to apply all competencies, all essential public health services in your internship, but applying them and being intentional with them from the start is going to really help you succeed. So once you've got your contract in, once you've got your site and you're starting your internship, what's next? First thing is going to be developing your objectives. So these need to be specific to your internship, and you will complete and submit a document of 8 total objectives here, and then you will need to submit the contract by the end of the 2nd week of the internship. On the contract, I'm going to pull it up, it says by the end of the 3rd week, but some of you that are in 3 credits or 6 credits, that's already halfway through. So we want to make sure that you are getting to have the opportunities and do the things that you are intending to do, and that's communicated with your supervisor earlier on. So this should be done by the end of the 2nd week. So you will need to fill this out, organizer, similar to the front, your contract 1 on this top part. The program granting credit is the MPH here. Now that you've been in the position a week or 2, then you can now describe in a little more detail what you're actually doing and your roles and responsibilities. And for here, you just need to check the the objectives and competencies that you're overall. You don't need to submit the written ones here that you've created in the other document. And then describe here the supervision you're going to receive as it relates to the objectives, okay? And this needs to be signed by your supervisor, by yourself, and then it will come to me and I will get it sent over to the internship office, okay? And this will be completed by myself as well. So this again is due, it goes over to the internship office by the end of your second week. But you want to get your objectives done during that first week so then you can also talk to your supervisor about those. So again, there's 8 total, and then you'll need 2 professional career readiness objectives, 2 public health program outcome specific objectives, and then objectives linked to the public health core competencies, and then the document that I showed you. So total should be 8. So the other thing that you need to start from day 1 is your weekly time log and a summary of activities. The summary of activities, there's no required length for this, and you can bullet your activities. It does not need to be super long, but long enough to describe what you're doing. Include specifics where it's applicable and where you feel those are most important. And these are going to be due by 10 p.m. of the first one's due by the second week of your internship at 10 p.m. and you will submit that, and I will look at that weekly. The next one you will submit will be your final one where you total your hours, but you will use the same timesheet throughout the whole internship or practicum experience. So here you will make a copy of this, and this is, you will rename it with your last name, last name internship timesheet, and submit that. And so you include the week number, date, hours, the main activities. Again, this can be bulleted or a short description. And then you need to get your supervisor's signature. So you will need to share this with your supervisor. And I will be able to see if they've accessed this. Again, please do not try to put their signature in and have them approve it in another way. They put their signature in or their initials or sign off how they feel appropriate to sign off, but they need to do that weekly and then at the very end to show the total hours. So the next item that will come up will be the self-assessment at your midterm. And this should be done at the midpoint and no more than 1 week prior or to that midpoint time. It's very quick. It is a Google form that you will fill out, and this goes directly to the internship office. Your supervisor will also receive a midterm self-assessment, and I will reach out to them to get that. Then at the end, the next thing really isn't due until the end of your internship, and that is a reflective essay. It is a 2 to 3 page essay, really describing what you learned during the internship and specifically how those objectives were met or not met. So use specific examples. If you were able to implement 3 different webinars, even including the titles of those webinars. Okay, so be as specific as possible with that. We'd like to see that, and then it's going to really help you with your capstone. Make sure to also include the name of the organization where you completed it, the position you held, and a brief description of the organization. So provide that context in your essay. The next thing that needs to be done, and this can certainly be done before the end of your internship, but make sure it's done within 1 week of completing it. Need a minimum of 3 pictures or images with yourself in them, and 2 to 3 sentence description of the activity that's going along with that image, and then 2 quotes that we could use as a testimonial. So thinking about having one that's related to the internship accomplishments and what you did through that, and then one related to the MPH program or courses that helped you complete or that really were most applicable to what you were doing. So we want to be able to use these for future marketing and for future highlights. We want to highlight you in Facebook. We have a College of Health Sciences monthly newsletter, maybe send over to the UCM or our communication and marketing department here, and they may reach out to you for interviews. So this is just something to also remember visually about your experience. And then finally is the job application portfolio documents. These are due within 2 weeks of completing your internship or by August 1st. So whichever comes first. These could be done earlier, but you need to submit an updated resume, with your internship position and responsibilities, and also a cover letter that addresses your experiences in internship. Your cover letter, you want to write that broadly, and so you can use that and adapt for multiple jobs. If you have a job that you're applying for, you could use it for that, but make sure you include the supporting information for that job. Otherwise, I think general will be most helpful for you, that you can modify and apply to different jobs as you go into the job search. So the last thing with this is a LinkedIn profile page with your professional picture in there, and make sure to include your internship accomplishments and position in that. And one thing I'm looking for in this page and how you design it is that you include, that you present it almost like an online resume. So you will have brief bullets or descriptions of what you did in your internship and your other jobs, that type of thing. This is for your benefit because there are there's job boards and job searches within LinkedIn, and how they kind of match you with jobs is based on your profile page and keywords from your profile page and your positions and whatnot. So don't just put in your positions and feel like, okay, I created this, I've got it, I did it for the assignment. You don't have to go back to it all the time, but it's a good online professional page for you to have during your when you're applying for jobs. And then the final thing is a self-assessment. This is similar to the midterm. It is another Google form. You will quick fill that out. Please get that done within the last week of the final day of your internship. I will also send this out to your supervisor. So I will take care of the assessments with your supervisor. So that was everything kind of quickly that is required as part of your internship. And please let me know if you have questions throughout or along the way. I do want you to remember that you are representing the University of Lynchburg. You are representing the Master of Public Health program. And so you need to be professional at all times, and remember that. If you ever run into any problems with your supervisor, with your site, with people at the site, you are covered under the university. We have liability insurance. That's why we work with the internship office. But if there's any problems, please communicate with me about that so we can really solve it, or if something's unsafe, we need to get you out of there. So this should be everything you need for your internship and for the summer. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. But I wish you the very best in this experience. I also want to tell you to have fun with it. You have put in the work with your courses, so this is the time to have fun and apply what you've learned. And the assignments that go with it are not supposed to, take away from that and take a lot of time. They're to benefit you, get you to reflect a little bit, and make sure hold you accountable for what you're doing. But have fun, okay? So take this time to apply what you learned and have a good time with it. And again, reach out if you have any questions. So thank you.